right. What? Okay, Fuller first. Fuller. So he is appropriately within it, hoping that practice and then the part of the process after practice. Hopeful that he'll be through it this afternoon. So we'll wait and see on that. Then Cater and Anthony Walker will both. I'm optimistic about both, but that I say optimism or pessimism when I'm trying to be clear. I don't, that's assuming that there's no setbacks and how they feel after. But it's been positive for them this week, and we'll see what that lends.
How about your two tackles, Dylan Armstead and Kendall Lamb?
They love football and they find different ways to prove it. I think I felt good about Tehran and much more physically dire situations. I think he's. That being said, we'll make sure that he's feeling good, and I'm not gonna put him out there if he's not capable. But I feel optimistic about it. So whatever that means. And then Kendall Lamb has had a very good week in terms of getting his body right. I feel optimistic about him too. But in the process, we've also been able to get some guys some reps, much needed reps, in case my optimism is in vain and one or both can't go. Chubb. Bradley Chubb. So him, we'll call him the window dudes. Okay, the window dudes. That we had 3 of them this week, and you want to talk about needing all 3 days. I mean, especially it's one thing if you're in season, you've played football during the season, whatever. We're talking about just today being a third of the evaluation process. So going into it, Chris and I had been very firm with ourselves and disciplined to, all right, let's let Friday go through. Let's talk to the players, and then we'll have concrete discussions on what that means. But I think it is a lot to expect. I think you don't expect any one of those 3 guys to be able to play. However, you leave it open because again, you let the process play out with a third of that process left, and then we'll assess from there.
This year against the Jets, you'll get to see your old coaching lead, Robert Saleh. What you think of how that all went down?
I mean, I get to see. I coached with Jeff Ulbrich as well. Did you know that? And in Atlanta, I'm old. Yeah, I don't. I have so many of my own problems. For me to weigh in on anything that's outside Dolphins, I think it's kind of worthless because it's not very educated. I haven't even. I guess I'm assuming that everybody else is having a glorious sunny day all the time. So I don't really have much to say other than that. I want to beat the Jets, regardless of whatever coach is coaching there, and I think our team does as well.
Just a little housekeeping, a word we like to use. The Tyus Bowser and Cam Smith injuries, were they season-ending, or if you need them back, could they play again this year?
At the beginning of December, it is always tricky. However, it's not it's up in question because it's around that time. It's not one of those. Um, Basically, will you do the follow up question? Will they be ready for training camp? I think they'll be ready for training camp. But whether or not they're back in the season, um, we're leaving that up open to their bodies.
And with Raheem, has the hip impacted how many carries you and Eric have given him? I think it's been 10 these last 4 weeks. Has that been a factor at all with him?
I think there's a lot of factors at hand. I think he's been an unbelievable teammate in the process. He's had a couple things pop up that it wouldn't be fair to his body to overpress him. I think it's important to me that with a very talented backfield that everyone gets opportunities. Sometimes they come in waves, and I think again, I've said it before, but it is not. There's a lot less to do with Raheem's not doing something or can't, and much more to do with multiple talented players that are taking advantage of opportunities as well. So I wouldn't ever, specifically with Raheem Mostert on this team, I wouldn't ever put him in a box in terms of this is what his contribution will look like always. And I know he can help us win this season. So when and what that looks like, there'll be a lot of factors that I can't give up the game plan, Barry. Whoa, Fridays. Sorry, I'm really focused on the practice. So sorry to get distracted. I do know your first name.
That's okay.
One matchup for Sunday, Chop for the first time will go against his former college teammate Olu for
Oh
Sunday.
yeah.
What do you think of how Chop is progressing now going into that matchup?
No, that will be a cool. That's a cool situation that you just bring light to in terms of you have guys that are used to practicing against each other, and then the National Football League demands a lot of different adjustments in technique and play. So, anytime you get rookie college teammates going against each other, it's easy to assume exactly how the other person plays, and then you get to the game and see how the NFL season has adjusted their game and where that puts them matchup wise. I think it's a competitive situation with two talented players that should be a fun matchup within the matchups for this game.
What do you think of the Jets' pass rush?
It's ever present. They like I said, I have a high regard for Coach Ulbrich. Worked with him, and same as Coach Whitecotton in San Francisco. I worked with him as well, and they do an unbelievable job of getting guys to fully commit to a relentless approach at pass rush. So they present two problems early in the down and late in the down. Their get off is as good as it gets in terms of coming off the ball and utilizing their technique. And then the one thing that is pervasive is they make a lot of plays in the run and pass game, but as pass rushers, they make a lot of plays late in the down as well. And those are generally the most impactful in games because that's where turnovers, whether that be sack fumbles or pressure interceptions, that the system of defense thrives on it. it's almost a non-negotiable for that scheme is to have a pass rush that can go, and they are well equipped to be a dominant phase of football at any given time because of that pass rush.
You see the game last night, Dave Campbell's 4th and inches, the call to run out the clock before the game-winning field goal.
I did not see it, but I've heard Detroit has gone for it on 4th down. Was it? Were you debating him? Did you think he should do it?
A lot of people have. I could see.
Did it work out?
It worked out. Yeah, got the first down.
No, I think you're always at the end of football games. I think it's important, at least for me, to understand that the only right answer is the one that works. So in that, you have to stay true to, what you think can do, what it takes to win the game. And I regard and respect people that understand that they're probably going to get some heat if it doesn't work out. But if you stay connected to the idea of whatever it takes to win the game, and you're always going to get the heat as the head coach or play caller or decision maker when it doesn't work out. So to prioritize that not being your motivation, which it doesn't seem like it's Coach Campbell's.
We haven't had a chance to talk to you yet since Alec was nominated as the Dolphins Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. Just wanted to get your perspective on what makes Alec a good candidate for that.
Okay, well, the Man of the Year, I think Alec Ingold best embodies how to succeed in life and how to take things that on the front end, for sure, he had a lot of adversity interwoven into the way he started in the world, and so adversity is ever present to everyone. It's all relative, but one or two things happen, and generally it's very difficult to take that adversity and make it purposeful, and that's what he has done by taking all of his time, his services, and giving back into the community to those that he knows could fall, that he knows that all. I mean, in the least, it's someone that has taken some obstacles and flourished in them. I think it is. He's a motivating and inspiring person, and I'm just so glad that a guy that I didn't know personally, that came to us in 2022. The more people that can know about Alec Ingold and what he has to offer this world, if we could all take a good measurement, as if we could all do like Alec and take perceived adversity and make it the engine that drives your life force into making the world a better place. I mean, he fits the bill, and on top of that, he's a captain at a position that you have to earn those stripes with nothing other than daily accountability, effort, mentality, toughness. I can't say enough good things about the human being, the player, and I'm just glad he needs to be he needs to be a focal point for what professional athletes are capable of and can do for their community and the sport, and leaving the sport better than when he got to it.